All right. Okay, everybody. Today is, well, now versus I guess today. Today or now is our second part of our fried macaroni and cheese. So in the previous video, we made the macaroni and cheese. We cooked the pasta for about 15 minutes. Although I might say, maybe in retrospect and maybe cooking it just a little longer, maybe closer to that 16-minute mark. I cooked it to al dente, but I'm finding, because I've done a couple test batches, that the pasta's, a little stiff. And I think maybe the pasta being a little smaller. Also, too, we're using shells instead of, traditional elbow macaroni. But still, nevertheless, they did come out okay. There's a few little things that, we're going to have to kind of take a look at as far as forming them. Now, here I have a little ice cream scooper that I'm using to kind of portion. But I will say that I didn't find that it was really necessary. I started making them about the size of a racquetball. Okay, and right now I'm kind of just taking and really, really forcing that pasta together in a bowl. Really, or a ball, I should say. And really, really forcing it. Okay, so to form a ball like that. I would highly recommend, that you don't make these too big. Something, just a little bit bigger than a golf ball will be fine. And I'm really packing that, down into my fist to form a ball. And I'm also going to advise you, we need to kind of pull this out about half an hour or so before we're ready to make them, just to kind of get the chill off. Now, admittedly, I found that, even after packing them, they kind of come apart, I guess, a little bit, and again, I think that's just due to them being cold and then the shape. But, during my tests, I was able to get it. And you may have to go back and, kind of reform them a little bit. But I'm not making mine, like I said, real, real big. The bigger they are, the harder they're going to be ultimately to cook. So I would say probably not much bigger than, this size right here, which I'd say is about 2 inches in diameter. And really use your palms and your fingers to kind of press it and form it into a ball. Okay, so that is the first step. Yeah, see, this one's just a little too big, so I'm going to remove just a little bit. You'll hear it kind of squeaking and stuff as you're pushing the air out of them and really getting them to form. These are forming nicely. So that's good there. I'll do one more because I've got 5 of them already done off to the side. So I think I'm going to save some of this for actually just eating this macaroni and cheese because it does look good. And I know my wife won't eat it because it has bacon in it. But that just leaves more for me. All right, so first step, form them into balls, okay? Just kind of get them and form them into a ball. And don't worry about if they come apart or start to loosen a little bit, like this one is. I might actually add a little more to this one because it's a little small. There we go. That one's pretty good. Maybe add just a little more to that one. So, if I were to guess how many you will get if you made all of it, well, let's see, there's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus I made one for a tester. That was 13, 14, 15, 16. I'd say you probably get 2 dozen, okay, if you choose to make all of your macaroni and cheese into little balls. I would like to see everybody at least make a baker's dozen if they could, just to kind of get a little bit of practice. So those are the balls right there, okay? And again, I would suggest once you make them, just kind of get them set off to the side a little bit. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. and kind of soften, or even a little bit more, because you're going to need to pack them additionally once we start our standard breading procedure. So let me go ahead and move this out of the way for now. Okay, here's an example of some finished ones that I did, earlier for testers, just to kind of see how things would come out. So, those are nice. I found that after they're made, they're going to hold their shape nicely. So, once they're actually breaded, it will be good. So now we're going to just kind of set this off to the side, just for a moment. Let's take a little bit of paper toweling and just kind of wipe things up a little bit. And we'll get ready for our next step. And our next step will be the standard breading procedure. And the standard breading procedure is what we refer to as flour, an egg wash, and breadcrumbs, okay? And I've only added a small amount of breadcrumbs at a time. I still have a fair amount left in the container because I don't want to get all of them wet, all of them dirty. So I'm only going to kind of add them in small batches at a time. So when I start to run low with breadcrumbs, then I'll just go ahead and kind of replace it and top it off a little bit. So give me a moment to get cleaned up and we will start the standard breading procedure.